It was supposed to be another quiet morning inside the thick stone walls of the royal palace of Madrid. A routine day. A predictable day. A day like so many others. But no, something broke the pattern. Something no one expected. Something no one believed would happen so soon. And yet, here it was. Confirmed. Signed. Sealed. Irrevocable. King Felipe VI has officially signed the marriage documents. For a moment, the entire palace seemed to stop breathing. Guards exchanged glances. Advisors adjusted their posture. Even the silent hallways, echoing centuries of royal footsteps, felt charged with an electricity that refused to settle. No rumor. No speculation. No whisper. This was real. This was happening. And the signature that changed everything had been placed with deliberate, unwavering resolve. But how did we get here? Why now? And what does this mean for the Spanish monarchy, for the nation, for the family, and for the young heir who stands at the center of this historic moment? To understand the significance of this document, we must go back to the pressures, the expectations, the private conversations, the difficult decisions, and the emotional turning points that led to this very moment. For months, there were whispers that King Felipe VI was weighing the consequences of solidifying his daughter's future with a single stroke of the pen. The weight of monarchy is not just carried in public ceremonies and glittering tiaras. It is carried in private rooms, behind closed doors, where every choice becomes a legacy, and every legacy becomes history. And Felipe, as a father and a king, felt that weight every single day. The marriage documents did not simply appear overnight. They represent years of preparation, political calculation, and emotional endurance. They represent Leonor's growth from a shy, dutiful young girl into a poised crown princess who has embraced the destiny laid before her. And they represent the enormous shift within a family that has lived under scrutiny, tradition, and unspoken expectations. When Felipe lifted the pen, the air in the room tightened. Advisors watched with reverence, understanding that this signature was not just symbolic. It was binding. It was final. It was the beginning of a new era. And Felipe knew it. He paused, just for a heartbeat, long enough to remember the weight of his own signing day decades earlier. The day he stepped into a future that was never truly his own choosing. A future shaped by ancestry, duty, and the relentless demands of monarchy. He did not want his daughter to feel forced into a life she did not want. But he also knew she had chosen. Leonor stood with conviction, and it was her certainty, her calm, her resolve that steadied his hand. But why did this moment carry so much emotional tension? Because this was not just a royal announcement. This was the official confirmation that Spain's future queen is stepping fully into her destiny. Every monarch must eventually face the truth that their heir will grow beyond their protection, beyond their guidance, beyond the boundaries of childhood. And now Felipe faced that truth head-on. Inside the palace, whispers circulated. Some wondered if the king had hesitated. Others wondered if Queen Letizia had reservations. Still others speculated about the political implications. Would this secure the monarchy's stability? Would it ignite public fascination? Would it draw criticism? Every question seemed to open another door, another curiosity loop, another layer of tension. Yet as the ink dried, the questions only multiplied. What role did Letizia play in these final preparations? What were the private conversations between mother and daughter in the days leading up to this moment? It is said that Letizia, known for her precision and emotional insight, spoke to Leonor not as a queen, but as a mother. A mother preparing her daughter for the highest responsibility any woman in Spain can bear. A mother quietly wrestling with the fear of letting go. And then there was Leonor herself. Calm, steady, focused. Those who saw her in the hours before the signing noticed something different in her presence. A maturity that had fully settled. A certainty that radiated. She understood the magnitude of what was unfolding. She knew the world was watching. But she also knew that this was not just a royal duty. It was a decision tied to her heart, to her personal life, and to her future as both a woman and a monarch. So what exactly was contained in the document Felipe signed? Beyond the formal legal statements, the protocols, the traditional language crafted over generations, it included the official royal consent. Without that consent, no marriage involving the heir to the throne could take place. Without the king's signature, everything would fall apart. With it, everything moved forward. But here is the real question: what pushed Felipe to sign today? What shifted? What changed? According to palace insiders, the turning point came from a private family meeting days earlier. A meeting filled with emotion, honesty, and deep reflection. Leonor expressed her readiness, not out of obligation, but out of conviction. Felipe saw it. Letizia saw it. And something softened, then strengthened, in that moment. But not everyone inside the palace was at ease. Some senior figures feared the rapid timeline. Others questioned whether the international implications had been fully considered. Still others worried about public reaction. Yet Felipe, after listening to every voice, chose to follow the one voice that mattered most: his daughter's. As the king lifted the signed document, the chamber remained silent. Advisors awaited his signal. Guards stood motionless. And then, with calm authority, Felipe nodded. The process was complete. The palace shifted in energy instantly. Word spread, first through the inner circle, then through the corridors, then through the communications offices preparing the official announcement. A wave, unstoppable, surged through the entire institution. But the signing of the documents is only the first act of a much larger story. Now the focus turns to the preparations, the political implications, the cultural celebrations, the protocols that will soon unfold in front of the world. And it raises new questions. When will the public announcement be made? What role will Queen Letizia play in the ceremonial preparations? How will Spain react? What international royal houses have quietly been informed? And most importantly, how is Leonor herself preparing for the role of a lifetime? In the coming days, every detail will matter. Every step will be scrutinized. Every gesture will carry meaning. The marriage documents do not simply authorize a union. They reshape the monarchy's future. They mark a new chapter in the House of Bourbon. They signal the emergence of Leonor not only as the future queen, but as a woman stepping fully into her historic position. This moment is the beginning of a long, emotional, deeply symbolic journey. A journey filled with love, duty, sacrifice, and destiny. King Felipe VI has made his decision. The ink is dry. The future is set in motion. And Spain now stands on the edge of a new royal era. This is not just official. It is monumental. It is personal. It is history unfolding in real time. And everything from this moment forward will shape the reign of Spain's next monarch. The king has signed. The path is open. And the story continues.